Here is something that does not make sense on a spreadsheet. Every year, thousands of developers walk away from higher-paying, more stable software jobs to go make games instead. And they do it knowing that game development, on average, pays less and works you harder. So why do they do it? And should you? This is the honest, balanced breakdown of game dev versus general software dev, across the three things that actually decide what your life looks like day to day: salary, hours, and happiness. No hype for either side. I am going to be fair to both, because the real answer is not which one is better. It is which one fits you. Let us set the table, because the confusing part is that these two careers start from the same place. Under the hood, it is the same core craft. Programming. Problem solving. Thinking in systems. A game developer and a general software developer are both writing code to make a machine do something reliably. The fundamentals overlap far more than either tribe likes to admit. What is completely different is everything around the code. The day-to-day. The culture. And the economics. One of you might spend the afternoon tuning how a jump feels, the other might spend it scaling a payment service to 1 million requests. Same skills, very different lives. So this is not a fight over who is the real engineer. Both are. This is about trade-offs, and being clear-eyed about them before you pick a lane. Let us start with the one everybody wants and nobody wants to say out loud: money. Speaking generally, for comparable seniority, general software development tends to pay more than game development. Often by a meaningful margin. This is not a small rounding difference, over a career it can add up to a lot. Why? It comes down to who is competing for you. In general software, big tech and well-funded companies across every industry are bidding against each other for engineers, and they compete on compensation. In games, studios are often competing on passion. They know people want to make games, so they do not have to pay top of market to fill the seats. So be clear-eyed. Choosing game dev often means accepting a real pay cut for the kind of work you do. That can absolutely be worth it. But go in with your eyes open, not surprised 2 years later. Next, hours. And this is where the word crunch comes in. Game development is more prone to crunch, stretches of long hours, often in the weeks and months leading up to a ship date. The reason is structural. A game has a fixed launch, a creative scope that keeps growing, and 1,000 things that all have to feel right at once. When the deadline will not move and the scope will not shrink, the hours give. Now, to be fair, general software has crunch too. Deadlines, on-call rotations, a launch that slips, it happens everywhere. But it tends to be less severe, and less normalized as just part of the deal. And the honest caveat for both sides, this varies enormously by company. There are humane game studios with real work-life balance, and there are brutal software shops. Culture is set team by team. But on average, if you are protective of your evenings and weekends, game dev asks more of them. Now job security, and the size of the market you are playing in. This one is easy to overlook and it matters a lot. General software has an enormous market. Every industry needs software: banks, hospitals, logistics, retail, government, startups you have never heard of. If one job ends, there are thousands of others in dozens of fields. Lots of eggs, lots of baskets. Game development is a narrower world. There are fewer roles, they are more concentrated in specific studios and cities, and far more people want them, which makes them more competitive to land. And studios can be volatile. It is common to see layoffs after a game ships, when the team that built it is suddenly larger than what the next project needs. None of this means game dev is a bad bet. Plenty of people build long, stable careers in it. But you are choosing a smaller market with more competition and more turbulence. Fewer baskets, so your own resilience, network, and portfolio matter more. So far this sounds like general software wins on paper. So why does anyone choose games? This is why. The work itself. Game development is creative and visual. You are building something people play, something that has to feel good, look good, and be fun. The feedback is immediate and emotional. You change a number, you press play, and the character jumps a little better. When it clicks, it is genuinely joyful in a way spreadsheets rarely are. General software is often more abstract. You are frequently building systems other systems rely on, services, data pipelines, tools, infrastructure. It is less visual, but it can be higher leverage. Your work might quietly support millions of users or an entire company. And the variety of domains is huge. You can work on almost anything, in almost any field. So ask yourself honestly, which kind of problem lights you up? Making something delightful that people play? Or making something powerful that people depend on? Neither answer is wrong. But one of them is more you. Here is the reassuring part, and it is true in both directions: you are not locked in. The fundamentals transfer both ways. Data structures, software architecture, performance thinking, debugging, working in a team on a big code base, those are the same job whether the output is a game or a web service. That shared core is exactly why so many developers move between the two over a career. Each side does sharpen different muscles. Game dev pushes you deep on real-time performance, on squeezing every millisecond out of a frame, and on the math, vectors, physics, transforms. General software pushes you on scale, on systems and reliability, on tooling and the discipline of maintaining code for years. But those are specializations layered on the same foundation, not different universes. A game developer can move into general software. A software engineer can move into games. It takes ramp up, sure, but the core of what you know comes with you. Picking one now is not a door slamming shut. It is just where you point first. So let us make it concrete. Who should genuinely pick game dev? Pick game dev if you actually love making games, not the idea of it, the doing of it. If the thought of tuning a mechanic until it feels right sounds like a good afternoon, that is the signal. Pick it if you will consciously accept the trade, generally lower pay, and hours that can spike around launches, in exchange for creative fulfillment. If that swap sounds fair to you, that is a real reason, not a naive one. And here is the practical one: you have to build a portfolio. In games, shipped work speaks louder than almost anything on paper. Small finished games, a game jam entry, a demo people can actually play, that portfolio will often matter more to a studio than a computer science degree. The people who break in are the ones who have built and shipped things. And who should pick general software? Pick general software if you want the higher pay and the stability. If a broad, resilient job market and more predictable hours matter to you, and there is nothing wrong with wanting those, this is the clearer path. Pick it if you want flexibility and options. General software has far more remote opportunities, more industries to choose from, and more room to change direction later without starting over. And pick it if you genuinely enjoy solving business and technical problems, making systems work, scale, and stay reliable. That satisfaction is real, even when the output is not something you can show your friends and say, "Here, play this." And the best part? None of this stops you from making games. Plenty of well-paid software engineers build games on the side, on their own terms, with zero crunch and zero pressure, purely because they love it. You can have the stable career and the creative hobby. So here is the honest bottom line, all in one frame. Salary: general software generally pays more. Hours: game dev is more prone to crunch. Security: general software has the broader, steadier market. The work: game dev is creative and visual with instant feedback, general software is more abstract but higher leverage. And the skills transfer both ways, so you are never truly locked in. Notice what this is not. It is not a ranking of who is the better developer. Game developers are not lesser engineers, and software engineers are not soulless. It is a values choice. What do you want your days to feel like, and what are you willing to trade for it? And whichever way you lean, the move is the same: build a portfolio. Ship things. Because in both worlds, the people who get hired are the ones who can point at something real and say, "I built that." If you want the full written guide on breaking into the game industry, it is linked below. And if you want a shipped portfolio that actually gets you hired in games, the Game Dev Portfolio Pack is in the description, $15, completely optional. Subscribe for more honest developer career breakdowns, and I will see you in the next one.